Hey guys, it's Katie here from Greenwood Detecting with my very first YouTube video. This video is going to be about unboxing and setting up the Deus II. What made me choose the Deus II? There's a couple features that really stood out to me and I was curious to get them out in the field. And I am curious to get them out in the field and see how they work. The first feature is that it's a wireless machine. What does that mean? Well, if you look at my Knox here, that I currently use, you can see that the coil is attached to the control pod with a wire. And every time that I want to change the coil, I have to rewrap the wire and plug it into the control pod. The Deus II, there's no wire. You put the coil on and it's good to go. So that's one feature. Another part of the wireless that stood out to me is because there's no connection from the coil to the control pod via physical wire, it's all wireless. The control pod doesn't have to be attached to the detector. What does that mean? A couple things. One, you can attach the control pod to your fines pouch. You can put it in your pocket. It's not physically on the detector, and that means that the detector is that much lighter. If you have shoulder problems, if you just get tired after a day of detecting and your shoulder gives out, this machine is that much lighter, and I really like that feature. I'm hoping that it gives me a couple hours extra out in the field. And the final feature that really stood out to me is the technology it uses. This machine uses a technology called fast simultaneous multi-frequency. What does that mean? Honestly, I have no idea, but I'm super curious to get it out in the field and see how it performs versus the Knox. The Knox has simultaneous multi-frequency, but it's not fast simultaneous multi-frequency. What the difference is there, we're going to find out in future videos, and I'll talk about it if I figure it out. If not, we'll never know. But I'll definitely talk about how this compares to the Knox and how I like the technology compared to the Knox. If you don't know what simultaneous multi-frequency or even multi-frequency means, every detector operates on a certain frequency, and that frequency is the frequency that the detector emits electronic currents into the ground that energize the metal, and then the metal sends the currents back. So a multi-frequency machine is a machine where you have, say, 5 kilohertz, 10 kilohertz, 15 kilohertz, and you can switch between each one. Simultaneous multi-frequency is where the company has developed an algorithm that sends multiple frequencies into the ground at once, which is supposed to stabilize the machine and allow the machine to actually look deeper into the ground to find items. Fast simultaneous multi-frequency, I have yet to figure out what that means, but I'll check it out. And that's why I chose this machine. So let's open it up, see what's in the box, and get it put together. So here I'm opening it up. I'll give you a shot of that. You can see here's the handle, the arm cuff. This is a control pod in here. Let's pull it all out and see what we got. So here's the bottom of the shaft. The coil is going to attach down here. The first thing I notice, super light. This is the lightest bottom of a shaft I've ever felt. So I love it right off the bat. Then we have another part of the shaft. This is where the control pod will attach if you want to attach it. Again, like I said, you don't have to attach the control pod to this machine unless you're diving. It has to be attached because underwater the wireless doesn't work, and the Deus does come with a small wire for diving. I'll show you that. Now, we're not going to set that up because I'm not going diving immediately with this detector, but at some point I will. And then got that. So this is the case, and then you can see the control pod inside. So you can literally just hook it to your pants and go detecting without the control pod on there. You can also attach it to the machine, and we'll do that as we put it together. I'll just pop it out here so you can see. Boom. So it comes with the case, and there's the control pod itself. Very small, very lightweight. So this is the diving adapter kit. You can see this. I'll show you guys this. This is the wire that you would need to attach the coil to the detector with if you're going diving. And even this wire, compared to like the the MindLab wire. I don't know if you can see in the video, but this wire is so much skinnier and less effort to attach this. We have the instruction manual. I love that XP included the instruction manual. Some detector companies do not include it, and you have to print it off the internet. So props for actually printing it and giving it to me. I love that. Here we have the headphones and carrying case. These are wireless headphones. I think wireless headphones are pretty typical of high-end detectors. These will attach wirelessly with the control pod and no wires to deal with. So love that. Get them back in. And then we have the wires to charge it. We have the coil clamp. This is actually neat. If you've never had a wireless coil before, this is a coil clamp. And what is a coil clamp? You attach it to the coil to charge the coil. Because the coil is not getting the power from the control pod, because it's not attached via wire, you actually have to charge the coil. So that's interesting, and that's also a point. Don't forget to charge your coil if you have a Deus. You know, you're going to get out there and find your coil's not charged, and you're not going to have a good day. So those are the wires and everything to charge it up. And part of the box. And then we have the coil. So let's get the box out of the way. And we'll put this together. Alright, so let's put it together. This is probably one of the easiest machines to put together, I think, that I've ever come across. Let's just jump right in. So this is the bottom part of the shaft. The telescopic shaft. And this here is where we're going to attach the coil. Here we have the parts to attach the coil, and it actually has a diagram on the bag of how you do it. So if you are not into reading manuals, you can just follow the directions. You probably can't see that. Hold it up here close. I don't know if you can see that either, but okay, you need one nut from the bag. You're gonna need one washer from the bag. You're going to need one spacer, which is this little thing. And you're going to need one nut. XP is awesome. They gave a couple extra items in there in case you lose these. So props to them for doing that as well. I would say that the washer is super important because with some detectors, the coil ears will snap off. If you don't put a good washer in there, people tend to over tighten the coil on the coil ears. It puts a lot of pressure on them. If you don't have a washer offsetting that pressure, they tend to snap off. So don't over tighten your coil. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the washer. If you look at the shaft on one side, let's see if you can see this. There you go. On the one side, there's an indent for the washer. On the other side, you don't have the indent. So that's how you know where the washer goes. You're going to put the washer in and slide the, slide the washer and the shaft in there. You're going to want to line up the nut, or line up the bolt, slide that through. Then you're going to take your spacer, and you can see that on the spacer there's a couple indentations, and if you can see on the coil, there's also a couple indentations there. You're going to want to line those up to slide the spacer on there. And then you're going to take the nut and you're just going to tighten everything up. actually, looking at the XP, they have a nice design with the spacer there, so it really relieves, it looks like it relieves all the pressure on the coil gears, and you don't have that problem here with this detector or this machine. Second, you're going to take the second part of the shaft, and you can see that it has these little flaps. You're going to open the flap, and you're going to put the part of the shaft in there and close it back up. It's the same thing with the handle, same attachment, and you can move the handle back and forth. I'm not so short, so I'm just going to put it back toward the end, and you can see here, that's where we're going to attach the control unit to. Now, as I said before, you don't have to attach it. You can keep it in your pocket, keep it in the holder, put it on a belt, put it on a fines pouch, whatever you want to do. You do not need to attach it to the machine, but for this demonstration, I'm going to attach it. There's a little part here that protects that part of the detector. It just slides on and off, snap in, and then you snap it back out. Very easy. And you can see here on the back of the control pod. So we just slide it on. Snap it in. And that's it. Your detector is set up. Should you want to go diving, like I said, there's more stuff to do. And with this detector, the big thing you want to remember, charge your coil, guys. You don't want to be out there and your coil doesn't work. But that's it. Super easy. Super lightweight. And if I take the control unit off, even lighter. So my next video, I'll be out in the field and I'll be showing you guys how this thing works and what I think of its performance. So thanks for watching, and subscribe below if you want to see more videos. Thanks, guys.